So this is August 15th, 2023. This is Darci's Reflections. It'll probably end up in Darci's Corner, but that's mostly because I need the space on my recording devices. If you're a friend or family and you've been watching any of my struggles, feel free to just skip this one because I'm just going to reflect on how my challenges from my early childhood days and how they compare to what I'm doing right now. I'm aware that my face does not have makeup on, and you can see the 5 o'clock shadow, and that's very dysphoria inducing. I'm also aware that I'm ready for bed. It's just these thoughts won't leave my mind, and the best way to. I'm hoping, sincerely, that the solution is right in front of me or right here. I just have to reach out and take it. Like, I remember being in the 5th grade, and I was not a very popular kid in school. I wasn't popular before then either, but the school we had been at before was the one I was born there and went from kindergarten to grade 4 there, and I had some friends in the neighborhood that were forced to be my friends, I suppose, because we were at the same day home or we were neighbors or whatever. But they were genuinely my friends, just not at school. I never understood why that was at the time. And so then we moved to another city because Dad got work somewhere else. And so I'm trying to establish myself in this new place. And that was when I decided to put my other half away. That's what I called it at the time. That was my feminine side. I decided to put that away. And so I'm at this school and I'm trying to play with the other kids and make friends. But the problem was I played the wrong games, or the games that they played I thought were stupid. Like the boys were playing games where they would pretend to be wrestling and they were pretending to punch each other and stomp on the ground and do pile drivers and things I just thought were dumb. Sometimes they would play hockey, but I wouldn't know which days were the hockey days. I would always forget my hockey stick. And even when I remembered it, I'm not a sports person. I hate sports. So I didn't really enjoy hockey, so that didn't work for me. And then I ended up trying to play tag, which, I mean, how can you screw that one up? But I managed to screw it up quite often. There were some kids there that noticed that I was different, and so they would take advantage of that, and the game for them was to see how quickly they could screw up my day. And it was pretty easy for them to do. So they often did. And so the one time I'm just sitting there by the door and I'm all kind of curled up and crying. And the teacher walks by and I was just like, she couldn't understand why I was crying. And I was like, well, now the kids want to play with me. And then I tried to explain how I wanted to play versus how they wanted to play. And she's like, you're just feeling sorry for yourself. Get over it. Now, to be fair, I wanted, there was something wrong with me because I'm ADHD and other things. And so I didn't comprehend the rules, the unwritten rules or the written rules that were being put out there. So that's off putting to kids. So they didn't want to hang out with me. Um, and even the nerds, I wasn't their speed either. So I was always a loner. Um, and then I wanted to play, there was this merry-go-round thing that little girls would go and play on all the time. And I didn't know I was trans at the time, and I'd put away the girly part of me. Well, I didn't see why you had to be a girl to play in a merry-go-round. Seemed like anybody could play on that. But every recess and lunch, a bunch of little girls ran to it, and no little boys ever did. And the one time I managed to get to it in time so that I could get on there, and they kicked me off pretty fast because I wasn't one of them. So I didn't know why I wanted to play the little girl games. I didn't even know it was a little girl game, but there was lots of little girls on it. So then I ended up going to the library quite a bit because eventually I learned that at least it got you inside, and at least nobody bothered you in there. So, but in order to get to the library, only so many people were allowed in the library at a time, so you had to hurry up and get to the lineup of the library and sit in front of the door. And if you were one of the first, I don't know, 20 kids, then you go in. So if there's 25 and you're 25, you're not going in. So anyway, I would go and I would sit in the line waiting for the library, and there'd be little girls in front of me or behind me, and they'd be playing patty cake games. And it's like, I don't know what the games are now, but it's, smacking their hands, and there's a rhyme to it, and it wasn't patty cake, it was like Mrs. Mac or whatever, Smarties or Kit Kats or something. And so I would watch them play these games, and I would want to play the games with them, but I'm a boy and they're girls, and plus I think I was a couple grades older than them anyway. So nobody's playing the patty cake games with me. But I could learn the nursery rhymes, and I could play them with myself against the wall because I was the only person I had to play with. And that was my school experience that year. And then the next year, for the first little bit, we stayed at that school. Then we moved to another part of town. But my experience at the other part of town wasn't any better. I mean, it was a better neighborhood, and it had lots of advantages to moving to that neighborhood that were good for me. But socially speaking, though, I was still awkward and an outcast, and the bullies still found me out fast enough and would make sure that everybody around hated me and told me what a loser I was. And they would follow me around the school and tell me that I shouldn't be there. And they would imply quite strongly that I should have my life. They didn't say that exactly, but like, what else did they mean? Wasn't like I could go. When you're a little kid, you don't decide what school you go to. You just go wherever your parents send you. So, anyway, got bullied a lot in the 6th grade and the 7th grade. It was horrible. But I did eventually make some friends, and, I guess that got me through it. I'm just comparing that to now because now I'm going to the different bars here in town so I can sing karaoke, and the mean kids are bullying me and wanting me to not be there because it's not acceptable that I'm there to them. And I'm sure if they could encourage me to end my life, they would. Because they don't know what this is like, right? They don't know how much I hate standing out, how much I hate people seeing a man in the women's bathroom. I know that they see that. I know that they hear that. The only reason they see and they hear that is because I'm doing this so late in life. But I don't have a choice now because the dysphoria is so overwhelming when it hits that, like, that's why I do this. It's not because I'm have an agenda other than my own survival. People ask, does this make you happy? No, it doesn't make me happy. It does not make me happy to stand out this way. It does not make me happy to intimidate people. It does not make me happy that people think that I'm just trying to, I don't know, watch them pee. Like, I don't really enjoy any of that.